right, welcome back. It's the Vegas Take. Sharp and Shapiro, so glad you could join us. Reminder, tomorrow on the show, the minister himself, Stretch Sanders, will be in studio. He is holding, I'm not going to call it a rally, it's a protest on MLK Day, right? And he is planning on shutting down Fremont Street. So we'll be joined by him tomorrow, talking a little bit about that. Also, former NBA referee, and, well, he went to prison for a little while for allegedly fixing games, although he claims he didn't fix games. He was just involved with the wrong people gambling on games. That would be Tim Donaghy will be joining us. And the reason why Tim is joining us, because we got this issue in the NFL now with this player, Josh Shaw, who apparently bet on his own NFL football game. So Tim Donaghy, the perfect person to come on tomorrow to talk a little bit about that. We were talking about the UNLV situation, the Ray Brewer article, the Ed Graney article, the buffoonery in these articles where Ed Graney said that Tony Sanchez did everything here but win. And Ray Brewer has an article out where he said, don't let the 19-40 record fool you. Tony Sanchez did nothing short of phenomenal when he was here. And then he talked a little bit about naming some of the things that Sanchez did. Nutrition, some sort of Stein. Tell me a little more about this.
He cited the nutrition table specifically. And I mean, I don't know exactly what that is, and he didn't really elaborate in his story. But I assume it's a table where after the game the athletes get food.
It sounds like a nice, formal, presentable way of saying we feed our players.
We feed our players, but they always did, right? Was it better?
I guess UNLV did
they
not.
They used to be eating junk food, like
maybe
table full of Chick-fil-A and
maybe they fed
fishes
them,
like Trump had at the White House.
They have a big deal with CCs, so maybe they fed them 4-day-old CCs like they feed us.
Maybe,
and that changed under Tony Sanchez.
CCs is at the basketball.
All I know is I've
everywhere.
seen the UNLV football players eating Raising Cane's chicken. I'm not sure that's the most healthy meal after a game. But
anyway. Yeah, listener Justin says to that nutrition table remark, even and this guy used to play baseball, I guess. Even in the minor leagues, we got food for free for the players. It's called trade, or at least cash/trade. If they can't get good food through a partnership, then they need to look hard at their deal.
Justin, we appreciate that comment. You're absolutely right, by the way.
Justin.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. All right, so moving on. Hey, Ray Brewer, you're welcome to come on our show anytime. If you want to cower it out, that's quite. I guess we have just too small of an audience for you, Ray, because you're a guy that covers high school football, and there's not many of you around anymore. So we understand if you're too busy. Anyway, moving on, we will go to Terry Fator. Now, I'm a big Terry Fator fan, as you know. What would you call him? A puppeteer, a ventriloquist? He's very good. He's exceptional. He's very good, and I've seen his show, and he does a really good job. And he's actually a really nice guy, too. So, Stein, there's this controversy, I guess you could call it, where he had a Donald Trump puppet in his show, and then it was pulled from the show. Tell us what's going on here.
All right. Now, I want to preface this by saying this is a one-day-old article. From the Review Journal. Yeah. So hopefully it's okay. It's still relevant to talk about.
Hopefully.
We didn't get to it yesterday, but we're doing it now.
It's not quite ripe yet.
Yeah, this is from the Review Journal dated December 2nd at 1:23 p.m. So we're almost 24 hours old with this.
That's reasonable.
And I know Ray Brewer's got a problem with when you talk about things that are like a little bit old. But anyway. This Terry Fator, so he's got his own theater, right, at the Mirage?
Yes,
because it's named the Terry Fator Theater. He's a star ventriloquist where he won America's Got Talent or something like that. So he's
very good.
He's very good at what he does. He brings in a lot of people. Well, apparently over the weekend on Saturday night, he was asked in his theater, why the Donald Trump figure was not in his new Christmas-themed show, A Very Terry Christmas 2, the sequel. He answered to the person who asked him that, it was kind of one of those things where the Mirage came to me and they've never told me what to do ever, but they asked politely, and when they asked politely, I said I would do it. So now he's backtracking now. He's saying I'm clarifying those comments about taking Donald Trump out of my show. It was a miscommunication between my team and me where somehow someone from my team, they thought the Mirage would be happy if the show were less political. The Mirage didn't ask me to make any changes to my show. You say that this is absolutely did not happen. It's a miscommunication.
So why doesn't he bring it back then?
Well, he said he told the Review Journal he could. He said he could bring it back anytime he wants.
Why hasn't he?
And in fact, no, Brian, he's going to be performing with the Trump figure on Fox and Friends Friday morning at 5 a.m.
Better be.
But is he performing with that puppet, the Trump puppet?
Yeah, with the Trump puppet.
In his Vegas show?
Well, that's not clear. But he did tell the Review Journal that he could bring it back anytime he wants. But then he did add, probably he'll bring it back when Trump is out of office, whenever that is, because I think emotions need to simmer down. I want jokes about him building golf courses and Trump towers.
See,
so, remains to be seen.
Okay, well, who do you believe here? What do you think really happened?
I think that someone probably from the Mirage did ask him to tone it down and take the Trump puppet out,
which is ridiculous.
And he did. And then that didn't look so good, so he clarified his comments. But I don't know. I wasn't there. I have no idea what happened.
Look,
maybe it was one of his staff members, or maybe there was a miscommunication. I don't know.
Look, we are very divided as a country. That's clear. Probably half of us, estimation, hate Trump, and half of us love Trump.
I'm going to say it's 65-35 love-hate.
I completely disagree with that based on the voter and the percentages of the polls. I completely disagree with you there. I think we're very divided as a country regardless. I don't care whether you hate Trump or you like Trump. What is your problem with having a very, very talented guy have a Donald Trump puppet? It's comedy. It's supposed to be funny.
Have you seen him perform with the Trump puppet?
I have not.
Because I would say it would matter what he's doing with the Trump, like what kinds of things he's making the Donald Trump puppet say. Because you have to think about, this guy, a lot of money's at stake, right? And people coming from Vegas from all over, from Trump country, right? From all those red states are coming to Vegas.
Are people coming in from Laughlin? Yeah, you're probably right.
Probably. And other places. And they're coming in, they want to see a fun show on the Strip. Right? They pay top dollar for this guy.
To me,
and then he's sitting there making fun of President Trump.
You know what?
I could see where they wouldn't want that in their show.
What? If you had a Jimmy
But
Carter,
I don't know what he's doing with it.
If you had a Bill Clinton puppet and you did the Bill Clinton voice and you made fun of
Nothing
his
would offend
womanizing,
me, but that's me.
I would find that funny just as much as Donald Trump. People are just so damn sensitive. I'm so tired of it. I really am. It's one thing when the president of the United States insults people because he's the leader of the free world. We're talking about comedy here. Donald Trump is not a comedian, okay? Terry Fator is a comedian, and he's an entertainer. Donald Trump is the president of the United States.
I would say that Donald Trump has been an entertainer for a large part of his life. But right now,
it is not your job.
He certainly is the commander-in-chief, which probably does not fall into the entertainer category.
It doesn't. The president of the United States, it's not his job to entertain people. It is his job to run the country to the best of his ability.
Unless you're a foreign dignitary.
Fator is planning to move forward with a web series, though, co-starring the Trump figure and a Bernie Sanders puppet, performing sort of a Statler and Waldorf commentary routine.
You don't need a puppet.
You would see on the Muppet Show.
Invite Larry. Just invite Larry David to your show. You don't need a puppet for that.
This isn't Trumpy Bear, right?
Trumpy Bear is a whole other thing. Have you seen the Trumpy Bear?
Trumpy Bear is awesome.
Trumpy Bear is a bear that's being sold on television that carries an American flag in its backpack. And you can snuggle with Trumpy Bear and take him golfing and so forth.
By the way, when I was in Laughlin, I bought a Trump pen. It says
where's that at?
It's at my place now.
Get it here.
It says 8 different Trump sayings. I'm going to be the best president ever. God brought me here, and I'm going to build a wall, and Mexico's going to pay for it. 8 sayings.
So do you fall asleep to that at night now?
No, I don't fall asleep to it. I wish I could fall asleep to his daughter at night because she's very attractive, but that's another story for another show. But no, if I was going to fall asleep to anything, it would certainly not be Donald Trump, that's for sure. That would not be it. If I was going to fall asleep to anything in the world, maybe it'd be InfoWars, maybe it'd be that guy's show, or something along those lines.
Remember when President Trump went through that phase where he was complimenting his daughter Ivanka like a lot?
I remember.
And remember everyone thought it was really creepy because he was kind of crossing a line.
If she wasn't my daughter, I would date her. That's what he said.
He
which
really
is
pulled
bizarre.
back on that in the last few years, hasn't he?
That was a very bizarre comment that he made about his daughter that I've never heard a father ever say. I've heard fathers say, gosh, my daughter's so beautiful, she's, and so on and so forth.
Unless your father's Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah. But he talks about her body. He's talked about her body before, and he said that he would date her if she wasn't his daughter. I find that to be pretty gross.
That was only part of it. There were other comments.
He's made plenty of other comments.
Well, maybe his version of saying I have a very beautiful daughter is, I would date my daughter.
So I guess
if she were not,
of course, he defends
my
I guess,
daughter.
and his version of saying I own this golf course is doing donuts on a green too. I guess so. We can agree.
If you own it, you can do what you want to it, but there will be repercussions if there are people.
If you own it, you can do whatever you
on it.
You sound like you're a slave owner when you say that. If you own it, you can do whatever you want to it. What does that mean? I don't want to even go back to this, but I totally don't understand your take on this. If you own a golf course, you can destroy it anytime you want.
Right.
This isn't your car we're talking about here because there are actually thousands and thousands of people.
You'll lose revenue from from the people.
There are thousands. It's not just about
being a member of your course.
It's not just about revenue.
It is.
There are no, it's not.
You own things to make money off them.
Okay,
typically, Brian.
you're talking about just from Trump's perspective, a very selfish perspective.
If you have a golf course,
oh boy, here we go again.
That people pay to play, you're trying to make money off that golf course.
And
this is not communist China. This is the United States. This is capitalism.
Let's not care. Hold on. Let's not care about all the members that play there that enjoy the course.
I didn't say let's not care.
Well, that's what you're saying.
No, I
you're
said,
not bringing up the members.
I said you can do what you. No, I've said the members.
Stein, will you help me
I said
here?
the members will leave. They'll probably leave if you decide to do.
So that makes
cookies.
it okay.
This has been an ongoing debate between Brian and JD.
It's very simple.
What it really started with was what the story was that President Trump has played a lot of golf, contrary to what he said before he took office, which is, I'll never play golf. I'll be in the White House all the time working my ass off. But he's played a lot of golf, and someone did crunch the numbers and realized that, wow, he's played more golf than Obama played in 8 years in the only 3 years that he's been in office, and it's costing the taxpayers millions and millions and millions of dollars because the Secret Service has travel and so forth. But somehow that devolved into a conversation about Donald Trump taking his golf cart on the green, which I guess is a breach of etiquette, and JD
just a tad.
And
clearly is a huge
JD defending
issue with
it,
Brian.
saying he can do whatever he wants. It's his course.
All right. Well, we'll take some phone calls on this. I'm curious. I'm curious. I really am curious.
By the way, also Stein, he has been double dipping. His Secret Service agents have been paying his golf course and his hotels and staying there, so he's actually making money off of the taxpayers.
Do you have? Okay, so let me ask this to the listeners out there,
which I think is smart.
Do you have a problem with Donald Trump spending $115 million playing golf in 3 years
and pocketing probably 40 of it?
Yeah. Do you have a problem with that? Do you have a problem with Donald Trump with no golf etiquette at all? JD seems to think if you own a golf course, you can drive your cart right up to the fringe because, Donald Trump's so old and fat and disgusting, he can't walk 10 feet, which is not true. Well, everything but the walking part. Everything else I said is true. He is disgusting.
And he cheats at golf too, right?
And he cheats at golf. And do you also think that the way you play golf...
One source says he cheats.
The way you play golf is indicative of the way you live your life. What do you think about ownership and property? If you own a golf course, should that give you the right to drive on putting greens and to ruin your golf course? The number to call is 257-5396, 702-257-5396. Want to get your thoughts on that? Why don't we take a quick break? We'll be back right after this. You're listening to The Vegas Take right here on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDAWN.